Yeah. It's all right. I'd like to have all four here, but. Take what you can get.
That's right. Them and
No.
zoom them in.
No, Amy's on right now.
Oh, Amy's on? No.
I'm on.
Hey, Amy.
Hi there.
I just see a black square where you're located.
Yeah.
So we can't see your pretty face, or are you being shy?
Yeah. Just shy. And under the weather look.
No. Well, I'm sorry to hear you're under the weather.
Well, thank you. I'm on the better side of it, but just still under.
Well, you get well. We're glad that you are attending tonight. That's really nice.
You're welcome.
So are we just waiting for Jane? Okay. We'll wait for her to log on and then we'll call to order.
It says that Jane is on as an attendee.
Just gotta get switched over. Can you do that, Jason, or do you want me to?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Now can you hear me?
I hear you, Jane.
Perfect. I saw it. I didn't see where to get it.
Okay, well, are we all ready? Do we have both Amy and Jane on the line?
We do.
Wonderful. I'd like to make a motion to call the meeting to order. All in favor, say aye.
You can just call. it
Okay,
order, yeah.
call to order. Here we go. All right, so roll call.
Second here, Mitchell,
Present.
Whalen,
Present.
Goldwich,
Present.
Ash.
Okay, well, I'd like to have a motion to approve the agenda for the June 7th meeting. Or is that what we want to do first? And the
Nope, the motion's
Okay.
on this agenda, so for the 7-Eleven.
we need to switch on over here. Make a motion to approve the agenda for the July 11th meeting. Can we have a motion for that?
This is Jane. I move that we approve the agenda for our meeting today on July 11th.
Do we have a second?
This is Amy. I will second that.
It's all in favor.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I
Any roll call on that? Nope. Okay, we're good to go then. Okay. All right, so our first agenda is to consider request. Now you're going to
Hold on, we gotta do the minutes yet too.
do the minutes.
Yeah,
I'm just
minutes
ahead of
for
myself.
the June meeting.
Oh, now we go.
Yep.
Okay. So what we want to do is then have a motion to approve the minutes from our June 7th meeting, correct? Do we
This
have a
is Amy. I will move to make a motion to approve the minutes of our June 7th meeting.
This is Jane. I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so then do we want to go to the new business then for July 11th? Okay. So on our agenda for this evening, we're going to consider a request from, now you have to correct me if I pronounce the names wrong. Is it Bejan and Majid? Okla? Olak. Okay, I was close. Close. For a special use permit to allow for a liquor store at 410 South Jefferson Way. This would require a special use permit. So would we like to go over our findings?
So the Alex permit to allow for a liquor store at 410 South. In an existing building that would be retrofitted for the use, so no new structures or buildings are proposed. aside from a trash enclosure. So this shows an aerial image of this site. Laser. This site right here, at 410 South Jefferson Way. And its current capacity, the 2,400 square foot building is designed and used as a storage house type of use. It contains 2 overhead doors here. You can see that in this building would be retrofitted to allow for that liquor store. They are showing site improvements. So they're going to be striping the parking lot here, providing handicap accessible parking with route into facility. The location of the new trash enclosure, along with some screening along the street, and then along here for the mechanical equipment that is located here. They're proposing a bike rack. There are 7 findings of for approval that must be met favorably by the Board of Adjustment. These findings could be met if they're placed on the application. Through those conditions, they are in the staff report as well. But the first 2 just speak to landscaping improvements. So the first one is just that plantings under prohibited plantings list can't be on the property. It's considered a public nuisance. The landscaping plan approved by the community development, and then a landscape meet the intent of buffering. This is the current landscaping plan. They're showing these are existing plantings. So there's maple, and then they're showing what the first conditions speak to. Zoning code does prohibit ornamental type of tree due to their odor when they bloom, as well as just having invasive root systems. And then the second condition just speaks to adding a few more and then replacing the leaves with shrubs or ornamental grass. Meet the intent of the buffer requirements, which are there to mitigate any conditions that would be detrimental to properties and promote the general welfare of citizens in Indianola through providing a screening to sort of like block. Last one just speaks to the facade materials. So it reads, changes to the primary facades must meet a minimum class 1 or class 2 material requirements for type. It must be approved by the community development department. So they are with the facade, they're proposing replacing either one or both of the overhead doors. Any of these changes, we would just require that either class 1 or 2 material be replaced. The staff is recommending approval with the that are outlined.
Thank you. And do we have,
Really quick, just any questions, I guess, from
Oh, right.
the staff first, and then we'll.
there we go. Jane, Amy, do you have any questions for the staff?
This is Jane, and I have 2 questions. Would you just refresh for me what class 1 or 2 materials are? And then after that, I have a question about signage.
It's like, I'm gonna pull it up here really quick.
Thank you,
So
Charlie.
the class 1 and class 2 materials, what we do in our zoning code is we have a whole list of different materials, and then we classify them class 1, 2, 3, or 4 based off the type of materials they are. I don't want to go over necessarily every single one of them, but for example, cast stone, a concrete masonry unit is a class 1 material. burnished or ground face block is a class 2, patterned or shaped block is a class 2, and then plain flat face block is a class 4. And those are just the masonry units. So like if we get into metal, architectural quality, composed metal with our panel wall systems are a class 1. And then if you get down to just plain metal siding, that falls into a class 4. So really what it does, without going into each one of them in depth, it just really says, you know, hey, we want those high quality materials are what we consider the class 1 and class 2 materials. And then those lower class materials, the cheaper materials, typically fall into those 3 and 4 materials. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. And it's on the street side facing or any side that you see from the street or all the way around the perimeter?
Jane, can you repeat that one more time? You kind of cut out there.
I'm sorry. Is it all away, are these materials required around all of the perimeter or just on the sides that you see from from Jefferson?
It's the primary materials. So the primary is defined, correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, the primary material or primary facades that are defined as the street facing facades are the primary entrance. So on this one, it would be the south side and the west side.
And that would just be to replace the garage doors, correct?
Yep.
So on the back side, the north side that faces the house that's behind it, there would be no change?
Nope.
And that's because you don't see it from the street, or it's just not a primary?
It's not, yeah, it's not a primary facade, so it does not have to fall into our facade standards.
So my last question then, at this point, would be, I didn't see anything message in there about signage. What kind of signage will be I know the code talks about monuments. I mean, I know our code is monument signing. Is that what this will be?
Yeah, if you can see on the screen here above, Emily's kind of showing it. They do show a 5x5 monument sign.
That is a 5x5.
Right
Thank you.
there in that area.
Good.
So it will be a sign outside of the building, not attached to the building.
Yes.
Correct.
And not elevated.
It looks like it's on a 2-foot base, so it would be the monument base itself. Well, those are just the dimensions of the base, so no, I don't think it'll be elevated.
Those are my questions.
Amy, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions at this time.
My question is I was reading through Dave DeVault's recommendations. So we had talked about like the trees and stuff like that. So he's going to drop a new plan, is that correct? For the shrubberies and things like that, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the condition that we recommended was just to
Okay.
have that new plan to kind of show those updated materials, so we're not having invasive trees in there.
Just making sure.
And this
And would you like to address the board, or is there anything that you would like to add? Any of like, okay.
Do I?
Yeah, just
From
yeah,
here?
come on up
Okay.
to the podium, that's great.
Hi, I'm Nancy Wilson. I am one of the realtors for Manjeet and Alak, or Manjeet and John. And I've just known them for a couple of years, and they've just been a delight to work with. And they have 2 other existing liquor stores, and they're just very responsible people. And with all the improvements being made, I think it's going to be just a plus for the community. They're not going to bring in something bad for the community. So I would just highly recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
About something to say. I have to come over there.
Yeah, sure.
My leg hurts.
Oh.
My whole concern was like the building as it is. It just looks fine to me. I don't know why we had to in the code, like I was talking to Nancy too, class one and class two material, what makes difference is changing that one and putting the new stuff on. It's just extra expense on us. I mean, we already made the plan, whatever you guys gonna say to us. Just wondering.
Just what triggers that change.
Yeah.
It's so. What we're doing is the use itself being a liquor store is a special use permit. That has to be approved by the Board of Adjustment, which triggers all the site plan requirements, which
Okay, so
include the facade materials.
if after 1 year or 2 year, we sell that building to somebody else and they don't wanna do the liquor store, they wanna do some exactly same business, whatever it is right now. You're gonna make them to change that one too and put bring to the same one.
No, so depending on what the use is, you know, they would be. Assuming we had the same code in place when they bought it, the building would be up to code in itself, so they wouldn't have to make any changes at that point. But if, let's say the building stayed as it is today, you guys weren't going in there and somebody else came in there, it just depends on the type of use. Again, the liquor store is what requires the special use permit, which triggers the review by the Board of Adjustment of the site plan. You know, there's other special use permits that we do require in our code. I talk about that later at some point if you want. I can kind of go through what each one of those are. But yeah, there are some types of businesses that are allowed by right that don't have to go through the special use permit process.
So yeah, so this building is already very beautiful building, nothing wrong with it, to me look like.
Mhm.
I see some stores over here, liquor stores, if you ever go into that store, I don't think you can go second time. To walk into that kind of liquor stores. That store already have liquor. That building has this liquor permit already, how they got it?
They went in place before this code took effect, where it went through a special use permit process.
Oh.
So this code has really been in place now for just about 2 years. We're a couple
Okay.
days away from being about 2 years old on it. So if you're talking about the one down here on Second, I think they've been there for about 3 years
3
now.
years,
So
yeah.
it would have been before this new code went into
Okay,
place.
that makes sense, okay, that's all, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to add to that?
Anything else you want to say?
I just did have one other comment regarding, do I need to get up or?
The
You're
plan?
fine, you're fine.
There is fencing around the north and east sides.
Or east, no, you're,
Sorry, the north and east sides. For the homes that are there. So
Yeah.
there's some tall fencing there that's existing.
is that privacy fences?
I believe.
They are privacy,
so.
yeah, they
they're-
Okay.
they're tall fencing.
And I'm sorry, we also did spoke to the season landscaper. Yeah, he know already, he not gonna put those pear trees, and he said he will make the plan and submit.
Okay, so Dave will do that.
Yeah,
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So if there is Amy, Jane, any more questions at all?
No questions here, Amy.
So then we would like
Jay,
to,
were you saying anything? Sorry, you kind of cut out again there.
I don't know why I'm cutting out on you, but yes, my question would be, if the new building went up today and it was along the highway, it would have to meet the codes for the new codes that are in place. That's correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's, no more questions.
okay. All right, so then what we would want to do then is we would like to make a motion. If we were to approve the special use permit for the property on 410 South Jefferson Way. And going with do we want to have a recommendation with
The condition noted.
with conditions noted?
This is Jane, and I would like to make a motion that we approve the special use permit with the stated conditions that the city has laid out.
And I will second.
This,
Sorry to cut you off there, Amy, didn't mean to.
You're fine.
All right, no, you're good. Mitchell,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Goldwitch.
Yes.
It passes.
Okay, congratulations. It passed
Great.
for you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
And really quick, thank you for your patience too, just with the holidays last week, and I know everything kind of got, and we had to do all the scrambling to reschedule, but thank you for your patience.
okay. So then we would like,
The only comment I'll make tonight, and I feel like a broken record at this point, but again, if anybody knows anybody who wants to be on the Board of Adjustment, please reach out to them, have them contact me. We could use a fifth member, so just wanted to keep reiterating that, so.
amen to that.
Are you guys done with your meeting or is it?
We're just about to adjourn here.
We're just getting ready to adjourn.
I know I'm not on the actual meeting board right now. Down here to try to figure out what's going on. I had put in a couple phone calls. I'm not sure what, I'm Matt Morrow. I don't know who everybody is here. I've put in a couple phone calls to try to, I think I've talked to, are you Emily? I think I've talked to you on the phone before. Are you David or?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, sorry.
Charlie, sorry,
Yeah.
Charlie. Yes, we've been playing phone tag the past couple days.
Okay,
I came down here because I couldn't get a hold of anybody, so I was kind of trying to figure out what's going on. I'm with the Snodgrass property. I'm the person who's the tenant who's trying to rent down.
okay, let's adjourn this meeting. We
Let's
can talk
adjourn
about
this.
that afterwards.
Okay,
So-
wasn't sure, that's why I popped in.
No, you're good, so.
I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Meeting.
I will second. This is Amy.
And roll call, do we have to roll call that one?
Nope.
Meeting is
All
adjourned.
in favor, we're good, so.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you, guys.
Adjourned.
Thanks for jumping on Zoom, everybody.
Thank you for
Thank you.
facilitating it. Bye.
Not a